Joe Biden is a front runner, no more, at least according to the latest new Monmouth poll that has him in a virtual three-way tie with Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. What's triggering this shift away from the former vice president? Here to debate the Daily Caller's editor-in-chief, Chris Bedford, and liberal radio host, Ethan Behrman. Ethan, you know, I've talked about this. I can see the Elizabeth Warren momentum building like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so I'm not surprised that she's up there. I am a little surprised, though, that Sanders, who feels quiet to me, has hung tough. But what do you make of the Biden campaign?
This is an interesting one. He's had a series of gaffes. I mean, there's no getting around that. That has not helped him at all. And his approach, while being conservative thus far, because we are still very early, keep in mind, his conservative approach has not appealed to the younger audience. His approval rating in the under 50 crowd is something like 6%. And so his approach just hasn't gone there. Elizabeth Warren is actually reaching those people. She's exciting people. That's why she's growing in the polls so fast, and her fundraising numbers reflect that as well. Bernie, on the other hand, I don't know where he's going in this campaign, because I think his expiration date was 2016. Elizabeth Warren is stealing that momentum more from Bernie than actually Biden directly.
You know, Chris, if you were to merge Bernie and Elizabeth Warren's numbers, they would be formidable. And while I hear Republicans say, hey, they would love to see a socialist run against President Trump, I think she's got a lot of energy. I think she believes in what she's saying, and she would be a formidable opponent.
Yeah, you have to look at just the crowd size here, because we've gone off of polls so many times and been so misled in the past number of elections. And after every election, we say, I wonder what happened here. How could the polls be so wrong? If Elizabeth Warren is drawing 15,000 people and Joe Biden is drawing 50 to 100 people, that's a major, major problem for Biden's camp. And one of the things that really caught my eye in this new Monmouth poll, which admittedly is an outlier right now, is that a large number of conservatives, the support amongst people who thought they were more conservative or moderate-leaning Democratic voters, he lost about half that support that he had previously, going to Biden, going to Sanders and going to Warren. And you'd wonder, why would conservative or moderate Democrats go to these two candidates? And it's because Joe Biden, as the standard bearer, the person who could take on Trump, that appeal may be fading.
Ethan, also, it's really that stands out here. And this poll, Democrats, 58% of them say it's important that the candidates support Medicare for all. Biden's defending Obamacare. He's going to defend it to the bitter end. But this also pushes back against conservative liberal commentators who keep telling me that the candidate won't be a socialist. But that seems to be really the gem, right? The key of any socialist campaign is free Medicare, or free medical system.
Yeah, and I could argue with you on the word socialist here, but definitely we have socialist policies in the United States, and we have for 100 years. Social Security you would call a socialist policy. So ensuring medical coverage for all Americans, whether it's through a public option, which would be an addendum to the Affordable Care Act, or a true Medicare for all, which, by the way, I believe that people should be able to maintain their private coverage through their employer if that's what they want. Elizabeth Warren is putting a sharp edge on these points, and that's why she is going down this path that is winning and stealing some of that support, because you're right, the younger crowd wants to hear this, and Warren is out there saying it. She just has the momentum right this minute.
Chris, Medicare for all being the central part of the potential nominees' platform, how does that play out in November 2020?
This is a testament to how far and how much President Barack Obama changed the country. When he was running, he had to hide ideas like this, even if some Republicans and conservatives said that was his ultimate goal, and the country was largely against it. There was an electoral revolt, but now the whole tone of the conversation has shifted, and Republicans have been routinely arguing on Democrat turf on exactly how to get health care to all people and how we are going to pay for that. It seems like it's been a large victory for Democrats, and in 10 or 20 years, we'll be looking back on this as if it's just a fact of modern life.
Wow. Chris, Ethan, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.